Mic check, mic check. What's going on? Y'all give me one more second. Y'all know we do everything live. We do everything live, so I'm not on the screen. Let me get on the screen real quick, mama. So I want y'all to enjoy this beautiful woman real quick while I take care of this camera work on me. And I'll be in here 1 second. I'm the ugly guy, so I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to find.
Not ugly.
I'm not hard. I'm the ugly guy. Hold on 1 second. There you go, the ugly guy. All right. Here we go. Give me 1 second, y'all. Boom, boom, boom. So we have Miss Miasia, and I met this young lady. I think maybe almost 6 years ago, I believe.
I think it was like 3 years.
Oh, you know my mind
Yeah,
bad.
I think it was like 2018.
Y'all know how I do. My mind kind of bad. You know, I'm on glasses right now. I got glasses yesterday. But how you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, a little tired. I'm used to this, this pandemic, laying in the bed every day, not really going anywhere. So I'm back outside now, and it just feels crazy.
Okay, and do me a favor. Tell everybody about yourself real quick. If you from Atlanta?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised here in Atlanta. I'm a radio personality, entrepreneur, multimedia personality, anything entertainment, sports. I talk about, I host. Pretty much anything that involves a mic, I'm willing to get on that mic and, create some type of atmosphere or vibe or energy. So that's me. Okay,
now when I met you, on different circumstances, no, not dating nothing. I mean, I wasn't that lucky. But I see the growth. Mm-hmm. So tell everybody about the timeline of your success right now.
I think when you met me, I was a waitressing / bartending at Empire.
Correct.
But at the same time, you didn't know that was like my 4th job. Like I had 4 jobs at one time. Okay. So I would leave Empire and go straight to the radio station and work. I was working at the time. Yeah. At V103, 92.9 The Game. I got hired there. So I was doing a lot of work with them and just more so hustling. I've always been hustling. So the pandemic really helped me slow down and just kind of really figure out what it is that I want to put my 100% attention to.
Okay.
And like that's pretty much the growth. The growth started from me blogging, and then I started interviewing indie artists. Then I went from there interning at Streets 945. I was an intern in 2016, and now I'm on air at Streets 945.
I see that. I want to get into that later on. I was going to tell you, I was the first not to say. I wanted to be the first to say congratulations because I seen your grind. I didn't have no idea when you was back then you was doing that. Only because I'm OG. I didn't know nothing about no IG and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you put it on there. I just didn't know nothing about it. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So you talking about the pandemic. How did that slow you down?
It slowed me down in the sense where normally if you're in the entertainment industry, there's not like we live off of events and gigs. That's kind of how we make our money. That's how we move around. That's how we network. In the pandemic, with everything being shut down, there was nothing to host. There were no events to attend. And at one point we went into complete shutdown at the top of March and April of last year. So I had to figure out what to do, how to survive it. And so I slowed down. I saved up my money. Ended up opening up a business, House of Heels, ATL. I sell women's shoes, women's heels. And I mean, I think I love what I do. Like this is just something that I've always had a passion for shoes. If you see me, I'm either in sneakers or I'm in heels. I switch it up. So me starting that business is kind of what helped me stay afloat and keep me motivated so that when outside does open back up, which we're getting close to that, then it'll take off. It's right in the right place at the right time. So
slowing you down, which I don't know how to do. So did slowing down get you more focused on one thing versus the other?
It allowed me to align correctly. At first I felt like a hamster in a wheel. Like I'm over here doing this gig, that gig. I'm all over the place. I'm at every event. But it was more so like, okay, like I felt like I found a better way to allocate my time. Okay. I found that's what it is. It's not necessarily slowing down, but it's putting more emphasis on moving with a purpose.
Okay, and that's safe. That's safe to say that. Mm-hmm. I had some young ladies on here before, and I'm not saying they half of you. Mm-hmm. Some of them are you as far as the hustle. And a lot of them said they didn't start their own business until the COVID-19.
Right.
Because they had to.
Right.
They couldn't be dependable on the unemployment. the
Right.
stimulus, all
Right.
that kind of stuff. Now, to backtrack a little bit, one thing I noticed about you was sneakers. And in my mind, all due respect, I'm saying you had not the tomboyish, but I seen you play basketball, talk basketball. I'm like, this is a beautiful tomboyish dressing type female. And then I see the other side with the dress and the skirt. So how do you balance that? How do you decide what you're gonna do each day?
It depends on, I'm a Gemini, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but when I wake up in the morning, it depends on how I feel. You know, sometimes, honestly, the tomboy side is really me. You know, I grew up playing basketball, so that's usually how I feel. I feel every day I feel like putting on a hoodie and sweatpants and some sneakers. But, you know, being in the industry that I'm in with all the hosting and everything that I do, it's all about image as well. So that's where all the dresses and the heels and the makeup and the hair, that's where that comes from. So it just depends on what I'm
you
doing.
do it well. I mean, I'm like unk to you, but you do it well. I never. I see your pictures. I'm satisfied with all of them. Sneakers, jogging pants. You do what you do.
Thank you.
What got you into the actual business of doing what you're doing? Where that drive come from?
The drive is just in me. You know, my father was both of my parents have always been very driven. My father passed away in 2009, but he left a lot.
My
you know,
condolences. Sorry about that.
Thank you. No problem. But he left a lot for me. You know, like he set a strong foundation. My mom, she's still a hard worker. So it just comes from my genetic makeup. You know, it's not in me to just be lazy. I have to always be doing something. You know, there's so many goals to achieve. So that's pretty much where that comes from.
Okay, a day for Miasia. A day. Describe to me a day for you. A typical day for you.
Typical day.
Besides me aggravating you about coming on the show.
A typical day, I wake up. So it's changed now. You know, now it's more so like wake up, look at the news, see what's going on, because I do the 94-second scoop at Streets 94.5, which is an entertainment segment. So I get my stories prepared for what I'm going to talk about that day.
Okay.
And I'm always doing that because we're always scrolling on social media. If I see something I like, I'll write it down. But typically, the average day is wake up, you know, get something to eat. Plan on maybe I have like 2 or 3 hours, which is this window now.
Okay.
To like just try to get something done before it's time to head to the radio station, and then after that, I may stay out late, I may not, but right now my time has been really limited. You know, like me having a set job now, Monday through Friday. I don't have nearly as much time as what I had before, so I make sure that every move counts. You know.
Okay. When you say every move count, what do you see yourself at? What's your overall goal with what you're doing?
Overall goal is to be a media mogul. So if you could think of like a female Steve Harvey. So he's always hosting something, you know, the Miss America pageants, he's Miss Universe pageants. He has his own TV show. He's syndicated on radio. Okay. So if you could think of Steve Harvey, besides the comedian part, you know, I don't think I'm that funny, but if I had to kind of model, and then he has his own suit and tie line, you know, I have my own shoe store. So it's kind of like, not saying I want to be exactly like him, but I've seen me noticing things about myself. He's the first person that comes to mind. You know, like maybe I could mirror his lifestyle and how he carries himself over, you know, throughout the years.
So are you a shoe freak?
Am I a shoe freak?
Yeah. Are you fascinated about different shoes? You keep up with the brands that come out? Are you into
kind of? Yeah, I think I'm really I'm not gonna say a sneakerhead, but I do have a great sneaker collection. Like I have a good collection, but I'm not the one with 200 pairs of Jordans. You know, that's not me. One day I'll get there, but right now I got other stuff I got to pay for. You know, those shoe collections, they add up.
Yeah.
They can be anywhere $40,000 to $100,000 worth of shoes if you just keep on buying shoes little by little. But I do love shoes.
Well, I'm gonna do a little plug real quick. It wasn't planned. I got a nephew that got a shoe store called Iconic.
Okay.
On South Cobb. And that's all he do is the type of shoes y'all wear.
Okay.
Can't keep up with it. I'm a Reebok Classic. You know, $49.99, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I admire that about you. You know, you can always have class. So let's talk about 94.5. How did it come? Like, did they call you one day and say, I need you? Or you been doing the internship and it finally broke through for you? How did that day happen for you?
Okay, so I started off my whole radio career at Streets as an intern back in 2015. So I was an intern there for about a year and a half. And then ended up leaving and bouncing around to other stations, you know, just trying to stay relevant. And, you know, like I said, the pandemic was really slow. I didn't know if I was going to get back into radio. Guy DC, who I'm on the show with, he has a show 6 to 10 Monday through Friday called the Fly Guy DC Show. he knew that he wanted to add entertainment news to his show.
Okay.
And he felt like I would be perfect, to talk about what's going on, the current events, things that's going on in the celebrity world, celebrity news and gossip. So he was just like, hey, I need you. And just like that, it was no question, and I went.
So it's natural for you. Like, it's no rehearsal. You just come in there freestyling.
Well, no, it's crazy because everybody and their mama thought that I was going to come in straight to it, freestyle, like how you just said. But no, it's actually a lot of preparation that goes into it for me because I'm such a perfectionista. Mm-hmm. I try to get it right. So I do take notes. I do write things down. And, I just give my news from there. But it's just not coming in freestyle because I want it to sound good, too.
Okay.
I don't want to be doing a lot of the and the stuttering and the flubs, So I just try to make sure that I can do one take, but give it to you without all the I guess, what is it called? With all the stuff that you don't need in it.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you lose people like that. Like, it's the wine. You want to hit a very important
straight to
stuff.
the point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of news, not to put you on the spot, what's the most interesting thing going on that you feel today? Now you ain't gotta give up what you gonna say on the radio. I want you to get that away.
No. I'm gonna get it away. I could give you what I talked about yesterday. Right now they're saying that Quavo and Sweetie may be breaking up. And everybody knows they kind of been together since 2016. So this is the first.
Sweetie, that's her name.
Sweetie,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I said something about her yesterday. I couldn't think of her name.
Yeah, so that's something that I've seen a lot of people talk about. She's not really running the media saying, "Oh, we're done" or whatever. She's kind of avoiding the question. So that's something that'll be going on and on until they can figure out if they really broke up or if they're together. Okay.
And while it's on my mind, I'm sorry to go to left field. I want to thank you because when I talked to you, I think about 3 weeks ago, you gave me advice on something I should do here, and I actually hired somebody to do that.
Okay.
So I appreciate you telling me that because, a lot of times you're doing everything. I got a business partner, but he does what he does. I do what I do, and it's kind of, so I appreciate you for sharing the knowledge that you have. And that's, I feel like with us, that's what we lacking.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you came on the fly to do this for me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. No, it's really tough. Like, I am so tired. You don't understand. So, like, me being here is because I really knew and understood your persistence. Like, you just kept saying, like, for 2 years, like, I need to get you on the show. I need to get you on the show. So I'm like, let me just make this happen, like, because I know it's going to get worse, my time. And then I'm not going to really be able to do it.
I think I said that. I said, why don't you show me some love before you get out there? I said.
Yeah, so I'm here now. So you better hold on to this.
I got you.
It better be recorded.
Oh, it is recording. Recording live. So what do you think about the All-Star Weekend in Atlanta?
All-Star Weekend, I think it shouldn't have been in Atlanta. Personally, I feel like this was the wrong time to have it in Atlanta, but being that Atlanta was the only state or the only city that's open, wide open, like all of our clubs, I guess they had no choice but to bring it here. But it still didn't feel like an All-Star Weekend experience. It just felt like a week of partying. Like there weren't any activations or, All-Star, anything dealing with All-Star that's usually fun, like events and panels and meet and greets with the players and all that stuff. That didn't go on because due to COVID-19, the only thing they made it one day, which I think the one day was phenomenal. I love the one day. I love how they shouted out everybody in the beginning in Atlanta that are doing big things in the culture. But in regards to it being here, I definitely feel like we got cheated because it's gonna be a few years before we get it again. So I wish that we could have had it like next year or when everybody's able to take their mask off and just really relax and enjoy themselves. But I mean, hey, Atlanta is Atlanta. Yeah. So I understand why they brought it here, but at the same time, I just it's kind of one of those things where it's like a catch-22.
Yeah, it was. I know what you're saying. It was too much red tape. They still had it, but they had their hands tied behind their back.
Exactly.
My whole thing about it was like, how are we gonna say everything is good if they won't let you go to the games?
Yeah,
that's what my mindset was. That these people saying you can't watch the game live, but you can go to the club. Like, it didn't make no.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense because to me the club is worse because you brushing against people and you're real close. Correct. You up close on people, but. I don't know. Everything's backwards.
You being a basketball lady, I never understood either that I'm watching the games and they sweating on each other, but then they got to go sit down 6 feet from each other.
Yeah, it's like I already touched you. Like, but see, they also make sure that they keep their players isolated as well. I keep hitting this mic. I'm sorry.
Are you good?
They always make sure they keep their players isolated from everybody. I'm not gonna say the world, but they try.
Okay.
So they're still in some type of little bubble. Like they can't really go to clubs or be seen out in different places, even though some of them are booking the system and
Magic City and all that. Kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like it happened. It's over. It was fun while it lasted. Next time it come here, it's gonna have to be next level.
So we talking about basketball. Let me dig in something real quick.
Okay.
So did you want to be a basketball player, or did you play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, growing up, my dad had 1, 2, 3. He had 6 basketball teams for rec league. Him and my mom, they own a daycare center.
Okay.
And with them owning that daycare center, it just always kept you involved, like with games, and you're always doing something. You're playing with other kids, you're interacting, and basketball just became a thing. Like, I don't know, I just found love for it. And then once my dad was coaching, I just jumped on one of his teams, and because it was co-ed back in the day. So once I jumped on his team.
You being grown? How they were the other boys?
No, I was. You would have thought I was one of the little boys
okay,
then.
Okay. I know you. Cause you said co-ed. I didn't know if you were being grown.
Yeah, no. It was. I was 8. I think I was 8 when I first started. You better not been
grown 8 years old.
Yeah.
Right,
it was co-ed back then. So from 8 to 22, I just I played my whole life.
Favorite team.
I gotta go with the Hawks. Because I'm always rooting for the home team, and then I like the Clippers.
Okay, what about the Clippers? What you like? They just traded your boy.
Yeah, I know, but I think
washed up anyway, huh?
Nah, don't. Look, you ain't gonna get me to say that. Mainly because I met Lou Will. Okay. And having a semi relationship with him, like when I see him, we know each other. Watching his game, seeing how great of a 6-man he is, and him coming off the bench and still being a leader. I think I kind of grew a lot. And then he's from Atlanta too, so I kind of gravitated more towards him. And then once I started seeing the team grow as a whole, it just made me feel like, I can rock with the Clippers. So I would say they're my second favorite team. And then the Hawks, of course, first. And I'm proud of them. They just hit a 7-game winning streak last night.
You know the stats and everything. Boy, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I actually hosted the pregame show yesterday. The pregame warm-up. Yeah.
So how did you get that going? Like, I did notice this. You your own. You don't got to call nobody else. You got to email nobody else. You deal directly with you. Mm-hmm. Now, it's going to come to a point. Well, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to let somebody depend on, do that for you. But so how did you get that introduction?
So with the Hawks, it's so crazy because they are always doing certain type of things with influencers, like different stuff, and they just reach out looking for people to do certain things. And I was just like one of those who they allowed to come in and, give it a shot to see if it was something that they want to keep doing every game. And so far it's been going good.
Man, it's an amazing story, man. Like I said, I done seen you. I watch you, what I'm saying? I'm not no stalker now, but I'm trying to see all your success. And you cover everything from A to Z, and you do it well.
Thank you.
And when was can you remember your first ever interview?
My first ever interview, his name was JR the Star. Okay. It was terrible. It was the worst interview ever. Happened? I was stuttering. I was talking too long, wasn't letting him get much out. The interview was like 30 minutes long with no audio. Like the audio we were standing next to a railroad track, and there was a train riding by the whole time. Mm-hmm. So when you go back and look at the interview, it's kind of like you can't really hear them. We're so far away. Okay. Like it wasn't the best interview.
But who set the scenery up? Was it you or him?
No, it wasn't us. We actually had a cameraman.
Well, that ain't on you.
Well,
I'm not gonna let you do that to yourself. That wasn't on you.
No, but I think no, not that I'm down on myself, but I celebrate my growth. So correct. I want you to know that it wasn't about me. When I say it was terrible, it's just meaning like I've come a long way, from that first interview to now. That's just me looking back and realizing I can't even watch it honestly because I'm so different now. I speak differently. I think differently. I get straight to the point. So, shout out to JR the Star. He was an indie artist at the time. Okay. And he just stood there. He took it. He talked to me. He let me get my nervousness out, and we made it through the end.
So is preparation different for different people? Like, would you prepare different mentally, depending on who you're interviewing?
Definitely. So if there's some people come in, they don't say anything, they're quiet, they look around. Mm-hmm. Energy is different. Okay. So you have to go into the icebreakers and go into things to try to warm them up. Because if they're there, obviously they want to talk. Obviously they want to be there. No one's putting a gun to their head saying show up. But you just have to get them to open up. And then you got the other ones, like, for example, a DC Young Fly who will just come in and just start talking to you and give you the energy that you're looking for.
He crunk though.
Yeah.
If you ain't crunk with him, then you don't need to be nowhere around him.
Yeah.
He gonna get you right.
Yeah, exactly. So preparation is definitely different depending on who you talk to.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, I know you interview a lot of people, and I don't want to put you copyright problems, but if you can interview somebody of your dream right now, who would it be? Male and female.
A male.
Who would you love to interview?
I say a female. I would love to talk to Lori Harvey.
Okay.
Lori Harvey, because she does. People don't think that she speaks. They don't think that she has a personality. We only get beautiful pictures of her and nice little selfie videos. But to sit down and actually pick her brain, especially with, how she maneuvers in the industry and in her field and in her lane, I definitely want to talk to her. And then as far as men, that's a good question because there's so many different guys.
Okay, you ain't got to put. I know if you say the wrong person, you ain't say nothing about me, so I don't want to.
Oh no. It's that's not a thing.
Okay.
I ain't that big.
You there though?
But I don't have to worry about that.
No, but it's gonna come. It's coming. I think you. Like I said, I see the growth, and I'm mad at myself because here I am thinking when you was at Empire, you going to college like a little you like the normal little part-time college worker working at Empire, going with their parents. I didn't know you had all that hustle behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I did. As far as the men go, I mean, anybody who I feel, I don't know, I would like to probably sit down with like a Drake or maybe a Chris Brown or Drake, like Chris Brown has been seen in a negative light, and I would love to get him to do another interview since then, because I think that was his last real interview. Yeah. And, I would love to like help clean his image because he goes through a lot.
You don't think he deserved the image that he brought on himself?
I think there's two sides to every story, and when you're in relationships, things can get out of control on both ends,
Correct.
And because Rihanna in her situation admitted to what she did and he admitted to what he did, it's just an unfortunate situation.
I got you.
But because she is the woman, and because she had the bruises all over her face, she definitely she got the victim image and he got the monster image. So for sure, when in that situation, it could have just been both of them, like what they said. I don't think he deserves it as much as people are giving it to him.
Okay.
I'm
gonna do you some live on air. I'm gonna give you an actual contact.
Okay.
I DJ'd for Steve Harvey 2 years ago.
Okay.
I met him. I met his sons. I didn't know the daughter who she was then.
Okay.
But I got a contact for you, the guy that puts it together. Do it once a year in Boys Town.
Okay.
And they do a weekend event. I'm gonna give you his number. He's the one that direct everything.
Oh wow.
So hopefully you can call him and see if he'll plug you into the actual event.
Wow, I really appreciate
so
that.
So I'm gonna give you his number. That's the guy. I coach with him over here at Lassiter.
Wow.
But he's Steve Harvey's best friend.
Wow.
So I got a chance to DJ for the man.
Okay. I would love that. The thing is, with these interviews, people are scared to take them because they feel like, they're just going to ask questions to damage my image and my reputation. But my interviews are never, like that. When I talk to you, I'm coming straight from the heart. I have a positive mindset. Of course, we can talk about things that are going on that other people are talking about, but it's always about the approach.
Speaking of approach, I made a situation yesterday. I made a decision. And tell me how you would deal with this. Okay. And I'm actually curious if I made the right decision or not.
Okay.
Somebody that uses my platform made a hatred social media post about the Asian people.
Okay.
And I just got really upset about it. And I was there, their opinion, but I just couldn't take it.
Right.
So I actually asked that person to remove it. So I'm saying, what if somebody was working with you at 94.5 is what I'm getting at. And you had the authority to make that decision. And I asked them to remove it because I felt like if you use my platform, it's not a good look for you to talk how you talking. And you did say people have a right, So how would you have took that approach? We talking about a hate comment.
A hate comment. You're gonna get it all the time.
Okay.
Me personally, I haven't had any like real hate comments, but in that situation, I think that the best thing to do is brush it off. Like brush it off, but find a way to redirect that energy. And remind me on the last part what you said, like how you what was the last thing that happened in it?
Well, I got rid of them because I asked that person to remove it off the social media page because they come use my platform, and then I didn't want that to be tied into my platform who I deal with, people that think like that. And I was raised with all kind of races, and I love everybody,
right?
So I took it to heart Pretty much.
Because so did he remove it?
No,
he didn't.
He said he
just
wasn't gonna remove it.
He said he wasn't gonna remove it. Okay, so in that case, I feel like you did right because your brand and your image is everything. Okay. If you didn't directly say that out your mouth, then it's like if your team is you are your team.
Okay.
So if somebody on your team is speaking for the brand or speaking out, then it's gonna look like you okay.
Well, it wasn't for the brand. It was just that people know that particular organization used my platform. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, like if you couldn't come to a happy medium, then that means one small situation like that would lead to a bigger one.
Okay,
so
cool. I had to throw that out there because I know you do what you do.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna throw some words at you, and you tell me what it means to you.
Okay.
Family.
Family means everything. I am a family woman. I'm the oldest of 4. So I have to set a great example.
Well, you like a baby yourself. You say oldest.
Yeah, I'm the oldest. I'm close to 30.
Okay.
But I really think that
24,
family,
fellas.
I think family means everything. You know, without family, I'm nothing, because at the end of the day, when I realized, and I keep bringing this pandemic up, but this pandemic changed my life. It really showed me who's there, who's not.
Talk about that real quick for me, because when I went through it, I talk
Do I
about
need
it.
to have this on?
Nah, babe, I want you to mess your help. That's so you can hear yourself.
Yeah. Oh, it's
That's
okay.
all.
It's okay.
You good?
I feel like it's starting to cave in a little bit.
Don't mess up that help, baby.
Okay. What'd you say?
I said talk about that part because when I had this situation last year, of course I never doubted my family.
Right.
But it'll bring you together tight. So how did it make a difference for you as far as looking at your family?
I think that it made us closer.
Cool.
You know, it made us way closer. Like I was actually able to see my parents, see my brother, see my sisters. I see everybody more than I've ever seen before because, you know, with me ripping and running in the industry, I don't get to always drive, you know, all the way out to the south side to see my mom, you know. So during the pandemic, it was like, I don't want to be anywhere else but with y'all. So, you know, we don't know where the world is going or what state it's in. It just seems like it's in such a bad place, and that's who you want and that's who you need.
Did you believe it? Did you believe it existed, COVID, before you got it?
Yeah, before I got it, I definitely believe it existed. I knew a few people, I ain't gonna say a lot of people. I knew a few people who were like really sick and they got their COVID test and it took them almost 2 weeks to recover. And I was just like, I don't want to go through that. And then when I got it, I was like, oh my God.
You know what though? not to spill no beans, but when you got it, the week before that, I think I asked you to come here and you said, DISCO ain't gonna be around nobody. I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you said you had it. I'm like, oh, what?
But I haven't. Okay, so I made one mistake, one wrong move.
Okay.
My best friend in Florida, she had a birthday party, but
you did tell
it was but it wasn't like a party like going out to the club because their clubs and stuff wasn't open in Miami. Correct. It was just literally we were in the apartment the whole time, and I honestly think I got it from the airport. You know, like on my way back, I started feeling sick, but I had a 14-hour delay, a flight delay. And so I had to sit
Atlanta to Miami?
From Miami to Atlanta from back on the way back. So I sat in that airport for 14 hours and you know there's a lot of germs, a lot of people.
I got you.
Maybe me sitting in those chairs or eating, I don't know what it was. I had to eat, you know. So I definitely got sick on the way back. But that was the one if I would have just stayed here and didn't leave and go anywhere, I think it's the airport for sure.
Okay. Now do you see yourself I see you as doing some analysts too on the news.
Okay.
I can see you on this because all due respect, CBS got some pretty sisters.
They do.
And I can see you on that platform with some more pretty sisters.
And the women are becoming more and more beautiful. They're hiring. One thing I could say about these news stations, they are picking up especially more women of color. Like I love the fact that I see a lot of black women, Hispanic women now. It's not just your typical white hair, white, blonde hair, blue eye woman, you know, like they're like, there's a lot of diversity now, you know, in the news world, but I don't know. I don't really like hard news. I don't want to report on.
You said hard news. Tell me the difference between hard news and the news you're doing now.
Hard news is breaking news. Like there's a car fire. I'm about to go report or a house. There's a child stuck in a house and I'm standing outside of a burning house telling you that on the inside there's a child in there. You know, I just don't want to deal with the trauma or, you know, stuff that comes with that kind of hard news. Can be anything. You know, you're outside with your poncho on and it's pouring down raining, your hair's getting messed up and I just rather.
She said she talked about the hair one more time, y'all. She said she threw it in again and her get messed up. Good.
Yeah, I just rather. Yeah, I'm really particular when it comes to my hair. Like,
I can see. Do I got the Hattie disco? Come on now, I ain't got the Hattie headphones on. It's just me and you talking. I need the headphones on.
yeah, but yeah, I just rather do like entertainment news stuff that excites me. You know, whatever my interests are, that's what I want to stick to.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. CBS got me watching the news.
Yeah.
It started with Sharon Reed.
Okay.
I used to get home before 11 o'clock every night. And so I got to watch my booth before I go to sleep.
Aww.
It had me watching the news.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'd rather
But that's
see,
what it's supposed to do. That's
it
why
worked.
they get those women in there.
It worked. You couldn't, I couldn't tell you nothing about the weather no other time. Or who got shot, none of that stuff unless the streets told me.
Yeah, but the good thing about it all is they're just not beautiful women. They actually have real talent.
Yeah.
And that's what excites me because it's like, wow, like women, we are able to display our integrity, our intelligence. We're able to display more than just our looks. And so that's what I love about it all.
Okay. So I got a couple more questions. You got to get out of here because you're a busy woman already. So I threw the word family at you, right? Mm-hmm. Motivation.
Motivation?
What does motivation mean to you?
Motivation is everything. Once you lose your drive, it's hard to get it back. You know, and I think some people have natural motivation and others let obstacles get in their way or let themselves get in their own way. I think in order to stay motivated, you have to be doing something that you love. Like I love to say, do what you love and love what you do. Don't just do something because you saw somebody else do it. Stay in your own lane, find your niche and whatever it is that your line of work is. I think that's how you stay motivated. Just stick to your interests and what you're good at. Okay. And you'll stay motivated.
Now, you said motivation. At any time in your life doing this, have you ever second guessed your vision with this?
Of course.
And what made you second guess yourself?
My bills. At one point, I couldn't pay.
That'll do it.
At one point, I couldn't pay my bills. I was struggling, trying to figure out rent. I was about to go put an application at Magic City. And let me not say that. I'm not for real.
Hey.
But I really was at a point where it was like, what is going on? Like, I'm not taking care of my responsibilities. But on social media, I look real lit. On social media, I'm around all these people. I'm interviewing and talking to these people, hanging out. But what's really happening behind the scenes, people didn't understand. So yes, I second guessed myself, and if this is something I'm supposed to be doing. At one point in time, it was so aggravated that my mom and other people started asking, is this something I want to do? Am I sure? Because they got tired of me calling and complaining about it. So yeah, but what made me persevere and get through it is I saw the bigger picture. Okay. Like when I start hearing stories of all the greats who have slept under bridges, slept in their cars, didn't have any food. Like if you listen to any person who is really like up there and successful, they all have this story that makes you feel like if they did that and they went through that, then I know my little problems ain't nothing. Like I could go through it. So that's what kept me going.
And that's real. When you said what you said was real is that people put on these images and people don't know the truth behind it. Mm-hmm. I see so many IG models that I know personally, and it's just comical to me when I know what they doing and what they not getting out of it. Like, right. And you put on the front, they go rent an Airbnb, and they go rent a car down to Miami, and do all this, and you call, let me get this,
then you come back to nothing. Yeah. You come back to the same problems you had before you left and went and did all that.
So how did you not to the young lady for your life?
Honestly, there's so much to keep me humble. While I'm over here, I'm interviewing this, and I look lit, who's more lit. So while you have 1,000 followers, what about the person that has, 80 million? I feel like little old me don't feel like I could ever get the big head because there's always room to grow and better. So, yes, you're supposed to celebrate your your wins. But I just stay humble because there's always something else to do.
And you always, I still got your picture on my website with my shirt on. So you always, you always been, and I'm one of the kind of guys, I respect you totally for even coming here because most people that got that, okay, I got it, I'm on the radio now, could have went just, off the record and say, oh, Disco, you got me messed up, bro. I ain't got time for that love. You know what I'm saying? The podcast station. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So out of love and respect, I appreciate you coming. Anything else you got in the future coming up that we need to look forward to?
Nothing else in the future. Just stay tuned in, stay tapped in with me. I don't know. Every day I wake up, something else, another opportunity presents itself to me.
I think you start DJing on the air too.
Oh no, I ain't gonna DJ. Yeah, one thing, but I know how to use Serato on my laptop,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to like use the tables.
You know.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna let the DJs. I'm gonna let y'all have that.
You know, I seen one picture with you, and I thought it was so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You had 2 laptops and a book open.
Where was that?
94.5. You
Oh,
sitting on
yeah.
You were sitting on the thing. You had 2 laptops
Oh,
and
yeah.
a book open. That's
Yeah, I
that's
had-
why I asked you the question about the preparation.
Oh yeah, so one of those laptops probably wasn't mine because I only have one right now.
Okay.
So that was probably like whoever sits on.
Oh,
those.
okay.
Yeah, that was probably somebody else's. But I do have.
She's
a
so
book.
real. She could have lied like hell.
Oh, no.
She cool. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I just have one laptop and one notebook that I use to prepare.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, like it's a lot that goes into prepreration though. But you don't need 2 laptops for that.
Okay. So are you gonna be doing live interviews too with people, or just pretty much giving
Yeah,
up?
so I'll be doing live interviews. I'll be doing something with my own platform, MSL Media.
Okay.
Y'all can follow that at MSL Media _ on all social media. That is my platform that I started from the ground up, which is why I am who I am today.
Correct.
All of those big interviews that I've had was under my own platform. I'm just now getting the credit and the appreciation that I, need to keep going, being recognized by bigger platforms. That didn't come until this year.
What's the
So-
most memorial? I can't say it. Memorable interview you had.
Spike
so far?
Lee.
Ooh.
Yeah, I interviewed Spike Lee. He was being honored at the Triumph Awards in 2016. I was actually freelancing with Sweet Candor TV at the
Oh,
time.
that's what's up.
And he was just kind of like, everybody's like, oh, you being honored. He like, he was like really like down and didn't really want to talk to people. And or you could just tell he was real. I'm not gonna say he was down, but he was very melancholy. Like he wasn't giving people energy or
To himself.
Yeah. And so when it got to me, I was like, is there any luck with getting Jesus Shuttleworth to the Knicks? Because he loves the Knicks,
yeah.
and he sits courtside. He doesn't miss any home games,
So you
and
broke the ice.
and yeah, I broke the ice. And he started smelling. He started smiling, and he was like, "Yeah, get Jesus to the Garden. We need him in the Garden." You know,
Okay.
so he was really excited. And then all the lights and the cameras came my way, and everybody wanted to get that footage of that moment. And that's when I knew that I can bring something else different to the table than what the average reporter is bringing.
Well, you got a sunshine with you. You got you got a perfect personality, perfect smile.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna tell you again, thank you. And I wish you all the best of luck. I'm one of your number one fans.
Aw, thanks,
and
Disco.
I can't
No,
wait.
shout out to you for being consistent with this. I mean, this is it. You know how many people can't find a podcast space or even the time to get up every day and come do this? I think that says a lot. You know,
appreciate that.
Even myself, I'm saying, hey, I want to start something, not necessarily a podcast, but I'm trying to get something else going, and I don't even have the time every day. You know, due to now me being on air and stuff like that. Like your time is valuable. So
Well,
like,
you said a mouthful. You got to make time. I go to work. Well, I'm off for right now, but I go to work 3:45 in the morning,
yeah,
driving the buses, and I get off at 3:30, and I come here from 5 to about 10.
that's dedication.
So when you want something, you got to get it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
And as you can probably give me advice on this, even though I'm the unk, is that you got to.
Why you keep saying that?
'Cause I'm up here age wise. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you not that.
Shit,
You not that.
you see, I got these glasses now. I got glasses. This ain't style. These is mandatory.
Look, I got on contacts right now. You just
Okay,
can't. I hide
cool.
mine better.
Cool.
I'm really
But,
blind.
But what I'm saying is I know you choose your circles wisely.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's half the reason why you're just so humble, because nobody's bringing that dead energy to you.
Yeah.
You know, you're a
And-
very happy young lady.
Yeah, it gets tricky sometimes too, because there are some people in your circle and they do things to make you question them, but you just kind of keep your eyes open. You don't really confront them or say anything until it's needed.
Okay.
But that's what it is. I just protect my energy. I'd rather not sit there and argue with you every day, all day. I'd rather just move differently, move accordingly, and keep going about my business until it just becomes a real issue. So even though my circle is small, you still have to just be careful, because you never know what version of a person you'll get that day.
Correct. So that being said, I know you got to get out of here because you're very, very. I want to keep you here for 2 more hours. I know you're very busy. With that being said, tell everybody how they can find you.
Yes, you can follow me at Miasia Symone on all platforms. I think he's got it up on the screen right there. Your platform, MSL Media. And make sure you check me out every Monday through Friday on Streets 945 ATL on the Fly Guy DC show from 6 to 10. I am giving you the 94-second scoop. And, of course, that's entertainment news. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's I felt a little special. Boy, she threw a little commercial out there for you, boy. Hey, I feel good. Hey. But it's
The
your boy
radio voice came out.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, this is your boy DISCO100. Again, I appreciate the lovely Miasia coming through. And we'll see y'all later on today. You have a wonderful day, ma'am.
Thank
and
you.
thanks again one more time.